November 12, 1942, the Western Desert, North Africa. Amid the wreckage of a British supply column sat an abandoned American vehicle, a Willys MB Jeep, captured intact after its crew fled. Standard Wehrmacht procedure dictated destruction or abandonment, but one reconnaissance officer saw opportunity instead. What German mechanics discovered over the next 30 minutes would challenge everything they believed about their own engineering superiority. Beneath the Jeep's hood lay an engine compartment unlike anything they had seen. Clean, accessible, designed so that anyone, even with minimal training, could service it. Color-coded wires, labeled components, standardized bolts, and interchangeable parts, all engineered for mass production rather than perfection. The Go Devil engine produced just 60 horsepower, unimpressive on paper, but its brilliance lay in its simplicity and reliability. Where German vehicles demanded specialized tools and factory-trained mechanics, the American Jeep could be fixed by farm boys and factory workers under fire. The contrast between philosophies was stark. The United States built for production, while Germany built for precision. America would produce over 640,000 Jeeps during the war. Germany would build just over 50,000 Kübelwagens. When asked if the Jeep could be put to use, the senior mechanic replied cautiously, "This vehicle is remarkable. It's designed by someone who understands the field." German officers scoffed, but the facts spoke plainly. One lever engaged four-wheel drive, a single motion that made the Jeep unstoppable across mud, sand, and rock, where the rear-wheel drive Kübelwagen often bogged down. Though lighter and more fuel-efficient, the German machine lacked the rugged durability of its American counterpart. The Jeep's heavier frame absorbed punishment the Kübelwagen could never survive. Its leaf spring suspension crude yet indestructible. Its engine capable of running on nearly any grade of gasoline. Within days, word spread through the Afrika Korps. The Americans had built a vehicle that outperformed the Wehrmacht's equivalent in almost every meaningful way. Mechanics from across units came to inspect it, moving from skepticism to grudging admiration, and then alarm. One former automotive engineer summarized the revelation bluntly. "We build for perfection. The Americans build for production. In total war, that matters more." The Jeep's crude castings and stamped metal panels looked unsophisticated, yet they could be produced in vast numbers by semi-skilled workers in factories that once made refrigerators and washing machines. Germany could not match such capacity. Reports flowed to Berlin. The Americans were producing thousands of vehicles every day. Ford's Willow Run plant built a B-24 bomber every 63 minutes. Liberty ships slid down shipways faster than U-boats could sink them. By 1942, America's vehicle production already exceeded that of Germany, Italy, and Japan combined. The captured Jeep became a prized tool within the Afrika Korps, its parts easily replaced from other captured vehicles, every component interchangeable. By early 1943, entire German units were informally trading and hoarding captured Jeeps, knowing they were superior in desert warfare. Then came Tunisia and surrender. 250,000 Axis soldiers became prisoners. But their education in American production was just beginning. Transported across the Atlantic on Liberty ships built in mere weeks, they were carried in trucks and trains produced with staggering efficiency. At prisoner camps in Texas, German mechanics were assigned to American motor pools, where they witnessed a system that defied their expectations. Young American soldiers, barely trained, maintained fleets of vehicles using color-coded manuals and standardized parts. "We design everything so any farm boy can fix it," one American sergeant explained proudly. "Thousands every week," he added when asked how many Jeeps they produced. To the Germans, it sounded impossible, but the evidence was all around them. In one camp motor pool alone, there were more vehicles than a full German division had possessed in North Africa. Every part, from a Jeep bolt to a truck fitting, was standardized across multiple vehicle types. The Germans realized that this commonality was not just efficient, it was revolutionary. It created a self-sustaining logistical ecosystem where anything could be fixed, anywhere. American production lines like Willow Run had broken complex assembly into simple, repetitive tasks, replacing skilled craftsmen with semi-skilled labor. The result was industrial scale that Germany could never hope to match. Even the Jeep itself was designed within 75 days, a feat of speed that reflected American pragmatism. Simple to build, simple to repair, and rugged enough to survive anything. As the war turned against Germany, the significance of that philosophy became painfully clear. By D-Day, American factories had delivered enough vehicles to land entire mechanized armies on the shores of Normandy. 6,000 ships, 11,000 aircraft, and 150,000 men, all supported by production lines that never stopped. German soldiers captured in Europe recalled how American convoys stretched for miles, while their own supply columns still relied on horse-drawn wagons. By 1943, 80% of German divisions used horses, 2.5 million of them, while American units were fully motorized. No tactics or courage could overcome that disparity. When the war ended, many of those same German mechanics found themselves rebuilding their shattered homeland under American supervision. Former Afrika Korps mechanics trained young Germans in U.S. maintenance methods: standardization, simplicity, results over theory. They applied those lessons to post-war industry, merging German precision with American production efficiency. Volkswagen, which had once produced the Kübelwagen, adopted mass production principles to create the Beetle, a simple, reliable car manufacturable by the millions. Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and other firms followed, creating a hybrid philosophy that powered West Germany's Wirtschaftswunder, or economic miracle. By the 1960s, veterans of the Afrika Korps would gather and recall the humble Jeep that had changed their thinking. "We built for perfection," one said quietly. They built for production. By then, the lesson was clear. The Jeep, not the bomber or the tank, had embodied the manufacturing philosophy that won the war. Its simplicity had humbled engineers, educated prisoners, and reshaped an entire nation's post-war identity. It taught that reliability, interchangeability, and mass production mattered more than theoretical brilliance. The Willys MB was not just a machine, it was a teacher, a symbol of industrial democracy in motion, proof that in total war, functionality defeats finesse, and that the true weapon of victory is not engineering genius, but the capacity to build and rebuild without limit.